Imagine, if you will, the dense forests of 17th century England, where the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual world seem porous, shimmering, almost like a veil fluttering in the breeze. It was in this mystical era that a remarkable figure emerged, Emanuel Swedenborg, a scientist, philosopher, and mystic, whose writings would come to challenge and inspire generations of seekers in the field of spiritual study. Swedenborg was no ordinary mystic. Before his spiritual awakening, he was a respected inventor and engineer, engaged deeply in the rational, empirical world. Yet, in his mid-50s, he began experiencing vivid dreams and visions that revealed to him intricate details of the afterlife, the spiritual realms, and the interplay between the soul and the cosmos. These were not mere fantasies. Swedenborg documented his experiences systematically, describing the structure of the spiritual world with such precision that his work reads almost like a metaphysical science manual. Now, why does this intrigue us as students of spiritual studies? Because Swedenborg's approach offers a bridge between mysticism and reason, between subjective spiritual experience and objective insight. His life invites us to ask, can spirituality be studied with the rigor of science? Can the intangible be met and understood? Let me tell you a story. Swedenborg once described a vision where he encountered angels in the spiritual world, only to realize these were beings who appeared exactly as he had imagined them from his earthly beliefs. This revelation was profound. The spiritual world, he suggested, is shaped by the state of our own minds and hearts. Spirituality, then, is not a fixed other world out there, but a dynamic realm intertwined with our own consciousness. This concept resonates deeply with many modern spiritual disciplines, where meditation and inner work are seen as pathways to exploring these realms safely and insightfully. But it also invites controversy. How much of spiritual experience is objective and how much is psychological? Swedenborg's writings challenge you to engage with this tension, to examine spiritual phenomena with both openness and skepticism. Consider also his influence on later thinkers. William Blake, the great poet and visionary, was deeply inspired by Swedenborg's cosmic visions and spiritual symbolism. Blake's art and poetry explode with imagery that echoes Swedenborg's descriptions of heaven and hell, of angels and demons, not as distant myths, but as living, breathing presences within and around us. As students, you stand at a fascinating crossroads. You have in your hands the tools to study spirituality, not just as abstract belief, but as an experiential dimension of human life. Through Swedenborg, you can trace an intellectual lineage that stretches from the scientific revolution to modern spiritual psychology, weaving empirical curiosity with metaphysical wonder. So what if you dared to dive deeply into these writings, to explore firsthand the dense symbolic universe Swedenborg reveals? What might you discover about the nature of consciousness, the soul's journey, or even your own spiritual path? In engaging with spiritual studies through such figures, you embark on a quest where every question opens new horizons, where science, philosophy, art, and spirituality converge in a tapestry as rich and mysterious as any cosmic map. Imagine your own mind as the portal to this unseen world, your studies as the lantern lighting the dark corridors of the soul. Swedenborg's legacy beckons you to question. This is good use, especially in the midst of the peace. And in this pursuit, lies the thrill and the profound joy of spiritual studies.